Use the hoist system to place the cutting unit into the machine. The ACCU reel selector adjusts the rear roller V mounts to accurately position the cutting unit in the grinder based on manufacturer reel diameter. Insert the rear roller clamp into the slot behind the cutting unit and rotate the T-handle 90 degrees. Slide the clamping bar over the rear roller and push the locking arm of the clamp down to secure the clamp in place. Unlock the orange lock handle on the cross-slide assembly and rotate the orange handle wheel until the dial in the indicator on the cross-slide assembly reads 0 with the long hand and 3 with the short hand. Select the correct spine adapters and place into the action motor. The pivoting and floating action of the motor assembly provides a direct connection to either side of the reel. Lock the arms of the floating action motor by twisting the handles. The front height adjuster secures the front roller. The front clamp and top plate adjust in or out as needed to avoid interference in grinding. Place the clamp on the roller, but don't lock down quite yet. The ACCU positioning gauge and height stop are linked to the ACCU Touch 3 controller. This is used to set the height of the reel and to position the carriage both horizontally and vertically to the reel. To set the height of the reel, place the ACCU position gauge on the lower pin on the right side of the grinding head. Place the height stop on the gauge rod. Allow the gauge to travel up to the reel blade. Release the lock handle on the left side of the front height adjuster. Adjust the front height adjuster up or down with the ratchet lever. Move the front height adjuster until the lever of the ACCU positioning gauge aligns to the decal on the gauge. Relock the lock handle on the left side of the front height adjuster, then lock the front clamp. Retract the gauge rod back into the ACCU positioning gauge. Unlock the gray lock handle on the cross slide. Move the grinding head to the left side of the reel until the position mark on the ACCU position gauge aligns with the position mark on the front tooling bar. Depress the locking tab on the ACCU positioning gauge to allow the gauge rod to travel to the center of the cutting unit shaft. Press the left check mark on the controller. Retract the gauge rod and move the grinding head to the right side of the reel until the position mark on the gauge aligns with the mark on the front tooling bar. Allow the gauge rod to travel to the center shaft of the reel. Push the check icon on the right side of the controller. Turn the gray cross-slide hand wheel to move the carriage up or down until the green bubble appears on the controller, indicating the carriage is positioned vertically to the reel. Retract the gauge rod back into the gauge until it locks into the locking tab. The horizontal positioning process is basically the same as the vertical positioning process, except you must move the ACCU positioning gauge to the upper pin position on the grinding head. The control will indicate the correct direction to turn the hand wheel. Once positioned, lock both the gray and orange handles on the hand wheel. Then remove and store the ACCU positioning gauge. Ensure the correct grind wheel is attached to motor. Now select the motor position on the controller display, in this case on the right. Slide the motor to line up with edge of blades and adjust the proximity sensor. Repeat for left side. Set travel limits of the motor and ensure there is enough movement for the blades to spin. Close the doors and you have a placed reel that is ready to grind. Once the carriage is correctly positioned, select the spin grind icon on the controller. Rotate the finger and body assembly to the spin position. This rotates the finger out of the reel blade path. Install the 1-inch, 25mm spin grinding wheel, 3.5 or 5 inches, depending on the reel size. Press the spin grind icon to turn on the grinding wheel motor vacuum and spin drive motor. Use the left and right traverse icons to move the grinding head underneath the reel. Moving the grinding head across the reel will help find any high areas. If the grind becomes too aggressive, press the down feed icon to lower the grinding head until you can travel the full length of the reel without grinding too heavily. End the test grind by clicking the stop button. Click the auto button and select a program from the 5 preset programs that best fits the reel manufacturer. Check the information is correct and press the check icon. Press the Run button to start the spin grind. For all reels, there is an optimum spin speed that produces an aggressive yet smooth grind. To change the spin speed, press the speed icons to either increase or decrease the speed. Generally, the spin speed for spin grinding is between 180 and 380 RPM. When the program is finished, the cycle complete screen will appear and the grinding wheel will stop at the right-hand travel limit position. The vacuum motor, spin motor, and grind motor will shut off and the blue light on the machine will flash. At this time, you may open the doors and inspect the reel. To start the relief grind process, choose the relief grind icon on the ACCU-Touch 3 controller. Replace the 1-inch 25mm wheel with a 3/8-inch 10mm wheel for relief grinding. Set the gap between the fixed finger and the grinding wheel by unlocking the lock handle at the rear of the assembly and sliding the assembly up or down to adjust the gap between the fixed finger and the grindstone. The gap should be between 1/16 and 1/8 inch, 2 to 3 millimeters. Push and hold back the index finger while using the infeed icon to move the grinding stone up until the reel blade is trapped between the fixed relief finger and the grinding wheel. Adjust the wheel up or down until there is a small gap between the reel blade and the relief stone, when the blade is resting against the fixed relief finger. Check for clearance between the grinding stone and the reel blade just above the one you're grinding, and confirm the relief angle to decrease the relief angle. Verify the diameter and the number of blades on the reel on the controller. Move the grinding head to the left until the grinding stone comes off the blade, but the blade remains on the fixed finger. Move the left proximity sensor so that the stone aligns with the edge of the reel. Traverse the motor back to the right travel limit. Check that the fixed relief finger has cleared the blade and that the indexing relief finger is positioned to catch the reel blade as it indexes. Adjust the dowel pin up or down if needed. Turn the spin drive motor on. The spin drive motor will apply a torque load against the fingers. The relief torque is preset but can be easily adjusted. Use the manual traverse icon to traverse the grinding head all the way to the left. Watch for proper clearance between the grinding wheel and the reel blade. Check for proper clearance between the index finger and the front side of the blade on the return trip to the right proximity sensor. Also verify that there is enough clearance between the fingers of the reel blade and spiders. Stop the traverse on the right proximity sensor and verify that the reel has properly indexed and advanced to the next blade. If the reel has not fully indexed to the next blade, increase the torque setting on the spin drive motor by pressing the green plus torque icon. The torque meter with a blue to red background indicates the torque setting. Click the hidden button at the top of the screen to show the torque number. Once you're satisfied with the test grind, turn the grinding motor off. Press the auto icon. Select a program from the 5 preset programs. Verify that the information is correct on the screen and press the green check icon. Press the program run icon. The control will turn on all necessary functions. Watch the grinder to ensure that it's cycling properly. If the grind is too light, press the quick infeed icon. You can also move the wheel down by touching the quick down feed icon. Set the traverse speed knob to approximately 22 to 24 feet per minute, 7 to 8 meters per minute. The return traverse will have lighter contact than initial traverse. When the program is complete, the control will turn off all the motors and the grinding head will stop at the right travel limit. The blue light on the grinder will flash. You can now open the doors and inspect the relief grind.